We see a zoo mirror probably. Yeah. Oh no. Narra has an Earthen Farseer, so
This could be Katoon. Wow.
no, whoa. He's playing the Reno lock. Is he the
yeah.
first player today who's bringing the Reno lock?
This could be a big surprise for
firevlam.
firevlam, yeah. So he might not be expecting the
Yeah.
the Reno Warlock here. Like we weren't expecting it. So yeah.
And this is actually favored for Zoo. What Zoo just has to wait for is their double PO, Soulfires, maybe even Leroy. I don't know if he runs the Leroy version or the Doomguard version, but you just wait for enough burst that you can burst him down from 18 health till 0. So he's not able to play Reno. That's how you want to approach this matchup. And Narra is just... yeah, he wants to survive the early game with his board clears like Hellfire, Shadowflame, Peddler. And then in the end game, go for his big minions as Mountain Giant, what he just drew.
Yeah, do you tap here, or do you just fake out that you are a Zoom and you had a really bad first hand with the Peddler here?
You just play Peddler on curve. Ooh, and he's getting that PO.
Yeah, Power Overwhelming, pretty interesting if he plays the combo, and that combo being Leroy Jenkins, Power Overwhelming, and then the Faces Manipulator, but you need the Emperor Thorson at least on one of those components to make it go off.
And Nara's also really smart. What people normally do is, if they see a PO, they instantly pick the PO. So then you sign to your opponent, yeah, I got that PO, I get it. But if you wait really long, it signs to your opponent, there were 3 really bad choices and now I have to choose one. So what I'm gonna pick. So
a little bit of mind games, yeah.
Yeah, it's really important in this game.
But it could also be that he saw 3 cards and one of the girls was like, okay, what are you gonna pick? And he had to explain first what the cards were, why he was picking it, and made himself look pretty smart.
Maybe he has a big fan club after last week. He won, of course, last week, so maybe he has a big fan club now in his hotel.
So yeah, do you want to contest the board here with Earthring Farster over just
definitely you have to go for it. You cannot afford to tap. Well, maybe you have to though. Otherwise you're getting behind on cards and you're still looking for that Hellfire. Oh, and that's generous of Narra, healing Fireflam, a little bit of BM, but it's allowed. It's allowed.
Yeah, it's like with the turn 2 priest healing your opponent and saying, "The light shall burn you."
Yeah, and that Fireflame doesn't have a proper way of dealing with it Farseer. And
well,
he has to trade both minions into that Farseer. That's pretty bad. He can go for the Knife Juggler coin.
He has a Direwolf, right?
Yeah, Direwolf can deal with it. Yeah, that's true. But then you play a little bit off curve, and is that what you want? Yeah, then you have to coin out the Knife Juggler. But then you play so hard in that Hellfire. You don't want to do that, right?
No, you definitely don't want to play in the Hellfire or, maybe there's also a Demon Wrath, but of course the Void Walker is a demon.
Yes, definitely.
You definitely don't, the tentacles are not demons, which is good.
No, that's really good. When that were demons, that Demon Wrath would be even 10 times better.
So, alright.
He decides to go for that Imgang boss. And now that Farseer can get a lot of value trades here and gives Nora the opportunity to tap here. Is he going for it? The Zoo has a pretty slow start. Even when he had like the 1, 2 and 3 drop here, it's still not a really explosive start with a lot of damage, only 4. And Nara has still 2 minions on the board.
But why would you tap here instead of playing Defender of Argus? Because you want to keep the Defender of Argus when you're almost at lethal and you want to Defender of Argus the Mountain Giant? Or
you want to save that Argus normally for when you play Emperor and then go for Reno Towned Up or something like that. But Nara decides differently and wants to have board control against Zoo. But you really need those taps. You need the card draw, you need the Hellfire, you need the Shadow Flame. But yeah, he has that Twisting Nether though on turn 7. Well, maybe you're already too far behind before you can play that.
I will have to see. When he gets more cards, that Mountain Giant is also going to get cheaper, but he lost his first town of the game, of his deck, and that Emperor Thorson, well, you don't want to play it when there is no combination piece in hand, but he has a power overwhelming.
Yes, yeah, to clear it all, it's pretty good.
So yeah, we see the Direwolf Alpha here being used with the Imgang boss to clear off the whole board of Narra, and the knives have been juggled as well, and there's the Shadow Flame.
Yeah, he has no minions on the board, so that's actually doing nothing. There's no Hellfire, and firevlam must be really happy to see that. I think Narra just plays Doomsayer to absorb 7 damage.
But we see the Gormok in hand of firevlam. He can play it. He has 4 minions on board. And
I can clear this really easy. And if the juggle hits, he can even do 1 extra damage. Yeah, it doesn't matter actually if the juggle hits the face or the Doomsayer.
He's just 1 mana of double Gormoking here with Bran. So has the coin still, but yeah.
Maybe he's thinking about playing Bran, coin, Councilman. He didn't see the Hellfire last turn, and also Shadow Flame cannot really be played on turn 6 with no minions on the board. But what can he actually do on? He already saw the Peddler, so there's no 2-drop anymore. Only like Abusive Sergeant, Power Overwhelming into Shadow Flame will punish him, but you can't really play around that, right? Coin.
No, you don't want to. You want to go just go for it. The longer the game goes on, the harder it's going to get. So he plays the Councilman and Brand Bronzebeard, and that's going to put a lot of pressure here on Narra. And can he do it? Well, Siphon Soul is not it.
I think even this is lethal next turn. It's 8 damage from the Gormok, 4 from the PO, and a lot of damage on the board. So this pressure is lethal, and Narra knows that, and he cannot actually do anything about it. I think he has to Siphon Soul the Bran here, but then it's still lethal for firevlam, I guess. This is already 1-0.
Yeah, you definitely Siphon Soul that Bran here. You know that there can be a lot of things incoming, but he decides to go for the Torsen. He goes, well, if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. And if you don't have it, I can come back to the game with a Twisting Nether next turn. But here is the Gormok hitting the face
for 8 damage.
Yeah, and even a knife.
And this is so easy lethal. He's still at the PO, he's still at the Abusive Sergeant. Well played by firevlam, yeah. He had an explosive mid-game, and Narra didn't have the Hellfire there. A really important card you were looking for against that Zoo to delete the board of the Zoo on turn 4. And Narra was so far behind, and he didn't have any clears. Feels good, man.
Yeah, definitely feels good. So firevlam is ahead, but it's not the first time that he is, because in the first week he was ahead 2-1, I believe, and then he lost twice with his Shaman. But now he has the Hunter left and the Warrior, and that Hunter can do pretty good against the Warrior of Narra, and that...
the Rusi?
It's not a Zoolock, so it's interesting.
Yeah, that Hunter's actually pretty good against the Reno Lock. You have so many sticky minions, and even when they have board clears like Twisting Nether, Hellfire, Shadow Flame, all those death rails like High Mane, Infested Wolf will keep board pressure and put the HP of the Reno Lock on the pressure the entire game.
So if you're Narra, do you stick with the Zoolock? You're gonna have a hard time against Warrior if it's Tempo Warrior. But if you curve out well, you can win. But oh no, it's not Zoolock. Of course it's Reno Lock. So.
It's a little bit of a 50-50. If he queues up the Hunter, the Zoo is really good. But if he queues up the Warrior, it's really bad for him.
But he doesn't play Zoo. He plays Reno. So my bad.
But firevlam doesn't.
No, right? firevlam doesn't. But he has already won with his Zoo, of course.
Wow. Oh yeah, true. Wow. It's getting late, guys. It's getting late.
Yeah, and it's getting warm from all the lights and all the equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're waiting for the second game here, and yeah, it could be. Well, it's loading.
I think Narra is just to go for Shaman. His best pick here, his best deck, good against Hunter and Warrior, but he decides to go for the Warrior here.
All right, so it's gonna be Warrior versus a Hunter. And the War Axe has been drawn already here by Narra, so great start. War Axe, good to have. And do you keep the Bash as a follow-up here?
Yeah, you can. You have already the War Axe, so you can mulligan a little bit more greedy. The Bash is really good against against the Huffer, against the Toad, against the Flame Juggler in the hand of Fireflame. Yeah, Fireflame is always playing that little bit more aggressive Hunter with the Bat and the Flame Jugglers. Pretty good hand, pretty good start, and the abusive start. And so that size Fireflame is playing that old school face Hunter.
Old school face Hunter incoming, and can Narra keep up with all the pressure that's gonna come in? Because yeah, he's definitely gonna need that shield block and that free Rorax, but maybe he can get some draws off that Acolyte, but he will not get any time here. Well, he might.
I think you just go for Fury Bet here. It will get killed by the Rorax though. But then it's gonna be really awkward for Fireflame. He's losing 2 minions to that Rorax, and that Acolyte is also doing a lot, and the Bash too. I don't think Face Hunter is really strong in this meta. You don't have the pressure anymore from that Mad Scientist. You don't have the pressure anymore from getting that free secrets out and getting extra charges on your bow.
Wow, and look at this.
Wow. Do you go Rorax and don't do anything?
You don't do anything, right? Or do you? Well,
you don't want to make it too obvious that you have that Ravaging Ghoul, right?
no, but well, the question is what does Fireflame do now? Because if he comes down with the Flame Juggler, what do you play? Do you go for? Yeah, well, you have choices. You have three drops you can play here. But what do you do as Fireflame? Do you go for the Knife Juggler? Flame Juggler seems obvious to me here.
You just go for Flame Juggler here. You made a face deck, so you have to stick to your tactic. You have to go for it. You have to go full face, and you know when they have War-X in a warrior lineup, they always have it on turn 2. That's how this game works. Yeah, you just have to go for it. Yeah, he doesn't go for the Ravaging Ghoul yet, and that's actually well played. Now that Warbat gives him so many draws on the Acolyte, even when he decides to go face here and that Ravaging Ghoul destroys it, he gets maybe even 3 cards out of that Acolyte.
Yeah, he might be hoping that because he expects the Fire Bat to go to the face because it's a face deck. But it could also be that Fireflame uses the bow to trade into that Acolyte, or is that just? I think you have to.
I think you have to trade the Acolyte away. You cannot leave that Acolyte up, giving him three cards out of it. That's not how this game works. It's not that you have to go all the time face as a face hunter. You have to make some trades sometimes. Feels awkward though, but if you give your opponent three extra cards, they will probably get some extra armor from it.
Yeah, so if he goes for the Argent Horse Rider here, he gets punished definitely. So the bow seems to be the way to go. But of course, Fireflame cannot see the cards in the hand of Narra. He is opting to go for the bow, but decides in the end to go for the Argent Horse Rider.
Yeah, Fireflame sticks to the plan, goes full face here, and Narra has a really good way of dealing with this. He can go for the Acolyte into the Horse Rider, play the Ravaging Ghoul, get 2 cards out of it, clear the entire board, and then in the few next turns, he can get a lot of armor with the Shield Block Bash armoring up. Even as a taunt with the Fierce Monkey, it doesn't look really good for Fireflame here.
So yeah, there's the brawl. So well, the brawl is not going to be needed unless we see Call of the Wild. So at turn 8, if there is a Call of the Wild, I believe there's not in this deck, right? Because this is a face deck. You don't have Call of the Wild, or do you have one?
Yeah, if you play one, it's really bad because if you want to play Call of the Wild, you always want it, right? So you definitely play 2 or you play none.
Yeah. So Fireflame went for the bat, hoping. The bat, not the Fury Bat, but batting that Narra didn't have the Ravaging Ghoul, but he does, and now it's a pretty awkward turn, because if you play the Knife Juggler here, it's going to get cleared by that Ravaging Ghoul, just as the Flame Juggler will. Yeah, what do you do? Your Flame Juggler into Hero Power feels bad. Feels bad, man.
Fireflame made it a little bit awkward for himself by not playing the bow last turn. Otherwise he would have had equipped the bow this turn and could have killed off the Ravaging Ghoul so easy. But Fireflame decides to go for double juggle, and as the face hunter he's hitting the face twice. I think he must be happy about that.
Yeah, but now there can be a good trade here for Narra. He can use his Ravaging Ghoul in the Knife Juggler and then the Bash to clear out the Flame Juggler, and he keeps the minion on the board, keeps his tempo, and can even armor up a little bit here.
Yeah, and this is the point. Fireflam can start conceding. He only has 2 cards in the hand. The Face Hunter doesn't play any card draw. Explosive Trap is not doing it. I can go for Explosive Bow to the face.
Yeah.
Feeling...
You want to keep that damage going, so...
You have to go for it. And also that Explosive Trap kills off the Ravaging Ghoul, but also gives you an extra charge on the bow, giving you an extra 3 damage. Really important.
You have to go for that. You have to just believe... You have to believe that you can win and that you're gonna draw into 2 kill commands and a beast the next 3 turns.
Yeah, but Narra has a lot of armor. He's going for the shield block probably next turn, getting some extra armor in. Shield block into Monkey seems really strong here.
Do you even attack? Yeah, you just popped.
There's no explosive trap played. He went for the hero power.
Oh, yeah,
it's also really important to hero power as much as possible.
Yeah, because next turn he can play the explosive trap, knife juggler, and the hero power if he wants to. And there's a second explosive trap.
Punished. Punished by not playing it last turn. Another 2 damage to the face of Narra, yeah.
It looks like the decision of Fireflam not going for the bow, but going for the more aggressive Horse Rider bites him in the back a little bit right now.
Yeah, definitely. And also giving Narra 2 extra cards was not necessary.
So a little bit greedy, but there might be a Huffer in there.
Probably there is.
Knife Juggler into Animal Companion. That is...
A Knife Juggler into Huffer, hitting the Juggle on the Ravaging Ghoul, trade away the Fierce Monkey. That seems pretty good play, right?
Yeah, it seems good play, and then it's time for Baron Geddon. But, well, maybe not.
And he can even use his hero power next to that. Come on, Fireflam, you can do it. Misha's also pretty good.
Well, it's
oh, that's also pretty good.
On the Monkey.
Let's go for it. 6 damage on the board from Fireflam, and Narra. Does he have something to clear this? He has double shield slam. Can go for that.
Can go for double shield slam. There is only 1 card in the hand of Fireflam. You can also use the Ghoul to trade here, and decides to do that. And now he knows that it's not Freezing Trap, not Snake Trap. It might be Bear Trap. That's also a secret you see on ladder, used by the hunters. But because it's an aggressive one, you will be expecting the explosive trap. So yeah, do you play the Sylvanas of the Baron Geddon here?
You don't want to play the Baron Geddon, I guess. You don't want to damage yourself every turn. Fireflam won't kill it, and you get 2 damage every turn, so your armor up won't do anything here. I think armoring up is okay here. Next turn you can just go for the rack and wait 3 more turns. Wow, even Wolf Rider. Fireflam.
This feels very old school.
Is this 2014?
Alright, so there's Harrison Jones.
A little bit late.
The question is...
Shield slam for 1 here and playing the rack. 8 damage to the face.
So yeah, there's now a clock on Fireflam. He has 8 turns to finish this game. Can he do it? That is the question. Alright, there's a quick shot, but he cannot play that explosive trap. And yeah, again, that choice of not playing that other explosive trap earlier in the game is biting him in the back a little bit now, because he's not gonna draw from that quick shot anytime soon. So how aggressive is Narra gonna play this? Is he gonna go for the face? Yeah, he might.
It's lethal. If he goes for Gromage, hit the face, the explosive trap will trigger the 6 extra damage, dealing 10 to the face, and then Rack will shoot him for lethal. But Fireflam decides differently, decides to concede here, not giving Narra the Ragnaros shot to the face.
Maybe a little bit salty after deciding to go for that Horse Rider earlier on. So yeah, the win for the Warrior.
And that makes it 1-1. And we still have the Shaman and the Reno look from Narra, and we still have the Face Hunter and the Warrior from Fireflam. Am I right?
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what we're gonna see here. We see the.
And I think Nara has just a hard mulligan for that Reno. If you have Reno against Face Hunter, it's normally a free win. Fireflame will probably invest all his cards in dealing 30 damage, and when Nara is like around 10, he will just play the Reno, Fireflame is out of cards, Nara can stabilize and probably win the game from that. But till then, Fireflame has a good chance of winning this. We saw Zoo winning on turn 6 already. It's really difficult for Reno to have some board pressure in the early game.
Yeah, and we see no Reno. We only see a 6-1 boost. That Mortal Coil can come in hand, and well, that one drop can be Mortal Coil here, but that's just gonna be it.
Yeah, Mortal Coil is actually really good. It denies the minion from the hunter, and it also gives you an extra draw to draw into that Reno Jackson. You really want that Reno Jackson. That's the card you're looking for here.
So yeah, decisions to be made here by Fireflam. Do you go for the Knife Juggler or for the Flame Juggler? They well, in some decks you saw, like in the Zulak, you saw first Flame Jugglers, then the Knife Jugglers return, just to well, because of the rituals, of course. But yeah, sometimes being a little bit interchanged. But now they're both in the deck of Fireflam, and
I think the Flame Jugger is a little bit better here. You know, on turn 2 there is a possibility of the Dark Battler. Ooh, and there's a Shadow Bolt. Really good card for after the Animal Companion. If he rolls that Leok or even that Misha, he can Shadow Bolt that away. And Nara's thinking probably about playing that Swampus to contest that Flame Juggler, but he also wants to keep it against that bow.
Yeah, so another decision here to make by Nara, and well, like you saw last game, decisions can backfire at you. So yeah, if he plays it now and there is a bow, then that is definitely going to be played. But he decides to go for the tap and finds the Reno Jackson. So can he survive for 4 more turns? Well,
probably there is.
There is a coin.
Fireflam is a really slow start. Nara has good options. Wow, and he finds even the Doomsayer. But he decides to Shadow Bolt that Misha, really strong. Turn 3 Shadow Bolt, 4 damage on that Animal Companion. Really good counter. And if Fireflam decides to go for Knife Juggler Hero Power, that Doomsayer is going to do a lot of work next turn.
Now that Reno Jackson is in hand, and the Doomsayer, and even Acidic Swampus, I'm trying to figure out how Fireflam can win this one. It seems like he has been shut out of this game.
Yeah, it's really difficult to say. That Reno is really important, of course, but Nara still don't have that board clear. So if Fireflam can build up a really big board, that Reno is not doing a lot, because you will just get another 20 damage in 1 turn again. Nara has to find that board clear after that Reno, or even better, 1 turn before it.
Yeah, and well, that can be the Doomsayer, but we see Hero Power Knife Juggler being played. And no axe, so 20 life here for the Warlock, and he finds a big game Hunter. So yeah, you can tap here because next turn, but then you have to play a card, right? He has 9 cards in hand right now.
You can go for Doomsayer. Doomsayer is really strong here. He has only 4 damage on board, and that Doomsayer will tank a lot of damage. And we see in Fireflam's hand, there's no way he can deal with that Doomsayer probably only when that Unleash the Hounds and the Huge Sword Juggle hit on the Doomsayer. There's a way Fireflam can deal with that, and that Refreshment Vendor is even more. Oh wow, and there's a Horse Rider.
So that Horse Rider...
Yeah, we'll do it. Oh no, he still has to hit the juggle.
He has to hit the juggle here, and yeah.
Wow.
So it's a 50% chance.
Yeah, even more. He can also go for the Huge Toad for an extra juggle. So he has 2 juggles, but if he misses both, he instantly loses the game, I guess.
Yeah, and yeah, that's true. That's true. But and Nara has to find one of those board clears. He needs Hellfire, Demon Wrath,
Twisting Nether.
You also have the Shadow.
Shadow Flame.
Shadow Flame, yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! Shadow Flame.
You still have the Swamp Boost to combo it. So you can go like Swamp Boost, Shadow Flame for a full board clear. Oh wow, he's using the hero power. He's not taking the risk here.
So he took the risk last game, and that didn't went well for him. Now he doesn't take the risk, and there's Rag.
But this is an insane Reno turn. He can play Reno on an empty board, so he goes back to full HP and also develops a 4/6 minion. And there's no way firevlam can deal with this hand. 30 more damage before Narra stabilizes the board and kills off firevlam.
Yeah, and then firevlam might be a little bit salty when that Emperor hits the board. Oh, right.
Wow, he's playing a little bit safer. Yeah, he knows also for 6 mana, there's no sequencing of cards that can kill off Narra. No way. And he wanted to see that bow, I think, a little bit earlier. If he had that bow last turn, he could deal with that Doomsayer so easy.
Yeah, but then that Acidic Swamp would have hit, and yeah, that would have been the end of the bow. But yeah, how do you win here? You want to use that hero power as much as possible, like you said, but then you're a little bit. You have to Argent Horse Rider and bow.
Yeah, but you also have to clear that Emperor. If you leave that one turn longer, you know where this game is going. firevlam knows. I know where this game is going. Even when he goes face now, if Narra finds a taunt or something, it's still going to be really difficult for firevlam to win this. firevlam has just to hope there's no Reno.
Yeah, so the face is the place, and yeah, if he doesn't clear and he doesn't play Reno, there was lethal on the board here, but
yes. And there we go, he just procs the explosive trap first before he plays the Reno, even healing for 2 more.
And there's a chance that we can see a concede here.
Yeah, no way firevlam is coming back from this. Narra picks up the board, even has the Emperor lowering all the mana cost of the cards in the hand. firevlam, what are you gonna do? You can deal 5-6 damage, but you will probably lose in 1-2 turns.
Yeah, you can expect a lot of damage coming in here from the Warlock with a lot of minions on the board. That Knife Juggler has been, yeah, it is gone, so that Unleash the Hounds normally with the Knife Juggler was a great combo on big boards. But yeah, Reno takes off his hat a little bit in the Golden Portrait here. So
yeah, really nice. He has a lot of golden cards, right? The Golden Rag, Golden Emperor, Golden Reno.
Yeah, they're all adventure. Emperor and Reno are adventure cards, so he has to use dust to make it.
Yeah.
So he's rich. Maybe Reno made him rich.
I think so. And firevlam desperately goes for some extra face damage, but he knows where this game is going. Narra, why is firevlam not conceding this? I'm really curious. I think you have to take your loss here and.
Well, the thing is, maybe he wants to see as many cards as possible from his deck, but it doesn't matter because if the deck wins,
conquered. Yeah. In lost hero standing, also not. Maybe if you face each other later in the tournament, but it's also not gonna happen.
So there's the Rag again, only now in a different deck, and it's gonna hurt the face again of firevlam that wanted to hurt the face of Narra so much. So yeah, being on a holiday, but winning. Here right now, it's Narra probably going to that 2-1, but firevlam still goes strong. He keeps hitting that face of the Warlock. Well, maybe, just maybe. But yeah, the Demon Wrath is gonna take care of this board, and then a lot of damage gonna get pushed into the face of the Warrior.
And there's the PO. Dealing some extra damage here, 8 damage to the face, and that makes it 1-off lethal. Oh no, he can face the Manipulator, the Rag, for a double Rag shot to the face. Nice lethal here, but he could also, well played, double Rag to the face. And Rag is doing a lot of work for Narra. I think it's one of his favorite cards now.
And that's why he has a golden one, but he doesn't have 2 golden ones, because therefore he needs a golden faces manipulator.
Yes.
That's another quest for Narra. So he's 2-0 here against against fireflam.
Yeah, and the fun thing is, he has 2 chances to draw some kind of god curve with his shaman, what's probably gonna happen against the hunter or the warrior of fireflam. So let's see what's gonna happen. Yeah, and shaman is actually really good against that face hunter because the feral spirit is blocking so many damage, and all the early minions of the shaman are so strong against the early minions of the hunter.
Yeah, but we see a little bit of a better hand here of fireflam. But look at those flame jugglers. If that Worgen infiltrator comes down on turn 1, that flame juggler can punish so hard.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But we also see Fury Bat, so we might see coined out Worgen infiltrator and Fury Bat here. But yeah, then flame juggler still can punish. So
50-50 juggle. Is he gonna hit it?
Is fireflam gonna be lucky today? He's not.
And now you will see Narra is definitely gonna hit his juggle on the flame juggler. Trust me, it's gonna happen. That's how this game works.
Ooh, it goes to the face, and that is unlucky.
Yeah, I think it's not unlucky. You both hit face, so it's even.
Yeah, so now you have the Abusive Sergeant to trade favorably with your flame juggler in the flame juggler of your opponent, and then you can play the Worgen infiltrator, or do you go for the Fury Bat?
What you also can, I think you go for Fury Bat because it also gives you an extra damage to maybe deal with a 3 health minion or maybe a 1/1 totem or something like that. So I think you go for the Fury Bat. It's the biggest pressure on the board. And the Shaman doesn't have cards like Mortal Coil or maybe another card that can deal 1 damage. So the Worgen infiltrator, it's not doing more than the Fury Bat there.
But we have seen before that fireflam makes his own plays, so it's a little bit unpredictable here. So you might even go for Fury Bat and Worgen infiltrator and just hit the face of the shaman and lets the shaman trade. But next turn, those feral spirits look pretty good. But also the Tusker Totemic if he decides not to trade. But
yeah, most of the time you will go for discard there.
Wow, he goes for quick shot.
Wow, clearing the entire board, but it's not developing anything, and that's something that's really difficult. And I think discard Totemic is coming out now, so you can curve out really good with the feral spirits and the Argent Squire the turn after.
All right, so yeah, if you go for feral spirits now, then next turn you have 2 mana. You can only use your Totemic Call, your hero power. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult. So, but he goes for the feral spirit. Feels threatened a little bit.
Yeah, I can understand why he does this. It contests the minion. Yeah, the bow is pretty good, but not dealing with everything though. I think you just spam all your small minions here. You want to have board control against Shaman. If you can get board control, you probably win the game. That's also when you play the mirror match of Shaman. It's not like who puts the most face damage in the early games. It's more like who gets the board control, who can fill up the board and make the value trades on the opponent.
Yeah, and they're a great top deck for Narra. Picks up a second 1 mana minion, so he can play the Argent Squire and the Tunnel Truck to contest the board here. Or does he want to go for a totem? No, goes for both minions.
Definitely, you want to have as many pressure on the board as possible, and the Shaman has the better late game. They has that thing from below, they have that discard Totemics, they have maybe even flame-ratted faceless, and that face hunter has only like small minions and wants to deal a lot of damage in the early game. But it's not happening. They're turn 4 and Narra only took 1 damage.
Yeah, he's contesting the board pretty good, and that Tusker Totemic next turn with the hero power is gonna give him a lot of minions on the board. Maybe 0 attack minions, but they're still minions that can get buffed or can be an obstacle here for fireflam to get to the face of Narra.
Yeah, that Fury Bet is gonna be really, really important now. If that one hits the Tunnel Truck, you can make a trade with your Worgen Infiltrator on it and go for Knife Juggler hero power. But if it hits something, oh wow, he's going for the. He can maybe even board clear. He's not going for it.
Oh, you probably go face here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do as a face hunter, right? Ooh, and
Yeah, face hunter goes face. So, do you go first for the trade here with the Argent Cry? No,
No, you
just,
go your
no.
free minions first. You want
Yeah,
to hit the juggle on your totems or something. You don't want to have that one hit on your Argent Squire, then you lose it. So just go for your discard with Totemic Call. You also have that thing from below, and if you play two totems now, so that one will be four mana next turn.
So where does the juggle go? It goes on to that totem there,
Don't.
and even a
There's the-
healing totem.
So
Wow.
there's no damage done by that. Ooh, and there,
Wow, great
dream-
combination.
the dream combo from 2014, the Night Juggler in Leash. But then back in the days, it was like a 3-2 Night Juggler, but also only a 2 mana Unleash the Hounds. And even before that, Unleash the Hounds gave your beast like a buff or something. I'm not
Yep.
100%
And
sure.
with all those beasts, all those hounds on the board, that kill command is pretty interesting here for dealing with a thing from below. The question is Narra going for it? Because there's only one card in the hand of Fireflam, and if you're Narra, you're like, nah, that's never going to be kill command, right?
You have to expect that, but I think you just go for the totem, the Tunnel Trog, and you play that Argent Horse Rider to deal with that Night Juggler. And I think Nara is really happy to see that 1/1 totem, because that deals with one of those hounds.
So yeah, there's a toad.
I think
It's pretty important here for Fireflam not to play the kill command.
no, but maybe he decides to kill command the Tunnel Trog, but he decides to go phase, of course. Yeah, I want to say he's deciding to kill off that Tunnel Trog, but of course not. He's going face.
Well, Lightning Bolt can deal with the frog, but wants to use his totem first, because if that slime hits the totem, then it dies. And yeah, pretty good choice here. Wow.
Face. Oh, he's really happy to see that.
He cannot clear out the hounds here.
Oh, you don't have to. Ooh. I don't really like this play by Nara. He could have traded off one hound, waited one more turn with the thing from below, because now he has the kill command value. Ooh, and he can even clear off the Tunnel Trog.
Yeah.
Firefly must be really happy to see that there was no healing totem roll by Nara. Otherwise, that Tunnel Trog would have lived.
So yeah, you go for kill command on the thing from below, then on the hunt to get a Mastiff as well, and then you can clear out the totem. But the Mastiff,
Yeah, there's a full board clear. Yeah, only the spell damage totem will survive. He's even going face. What? He didn't do the 1 damage on the... Oh, he did it
Wow,
on
and
face. He did
what
the
a
Mastiff
top
on
deck
face.
here.
Yeah, that town is gonna do a lot of work. There's no way Fireflam can deal with that. And even the healing totem. So even if Fireflam decides to trade in that Spirit Wolves, that healing totem will just put them back to full health again the turn afterwards. And that, wow, even playing Arcane Shot in this deck. This is like by far the most greediest face hunter I've seen in a long time.
Oh yeah, Arcane Shot can deal with one of the wolves, but then his hound will be traded. So will he go? If he goes for the face, then he might get enough damage. So if you draw into a quick shot,
Quick shot, kill command, quick shot, kill command, something like that.
I'm just grasping here. I don't know how even Fireflam is gonna win this one. So his hunter is the weakest link of this week.
Yeah, he got 3-0'd against the hunter. Yeah, I don't think face hunter is any good in this meta. It's I don't know why you would bring it. There's no way it's gonna work. You have no card draw. You don't have pressure with the scientists and stuff. If you're running out of cards so early on against those shamans, they have a way better curve from 1 till 5. The same for Zoo. I don't know, man.
Yeah, Narra is going for face because he knows that there is no combination in the hand of Fireflam that can win him the game. That Worgen Infiltrator is not going to do it. So yeah, Fireflam is going for the trade. No, he's going for the face like he always have been. And well, that is lethal for...
That's lethal for Narra, and that makes it 3-1. And even the Flame Tongue Totem for extra damage here. He's gonna do it, and there we go. 3-1 for Narra. Really well played by him. Bringing that ultra control lineup with the Shaman, with the Reno Log, the only one of all the 8 Warlocks we saw today.